What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tales from the Long Box. Welcome back to Tales from the Long Box. Oh, lovely. Good to see you all. I'm Michael. That's Marshall.
I'm Marshall.
That's Marshall. I'm Michael. It's good to see you again. This week we're doing part 2 of our Iron Man Essentials series. Yep. Where we're going through 6 different Iron Man arcs that have gone to shape that character in really big ways. We talked about 3 of them last week. We talked about his kind of origin in Tales of Suspense.
Yeah, Tales 39.
Yep, we talked about his Demon in the Bottle story from his solo series, and then the Ironmonger arc that is just an enormous chunk of reading.
Yep.
I think it deserves a watch just for how much time we put into reading them, and wanted to tell you about them.
We've been putting this episode off for so long.
We kind of have
because there's
just
so
such
much
an
to
undertaking.
read.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, if it was me, I would probably watch and like and comment and subscribe and do all the things.
Oh.
That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just what I would personally do. If somebody were so inclined to follow along with my example, I would support it. I think it'd be great. Anyway, so this week we're going to talk about Armor Wars.
Woo.
Which is still in the old stuff.
Yeah.
But then we're going to take a swift jump into 2006.
Future.
20 years ago, 2006. With some of the more modern stuff. And then also...
A couple years forward. Then.
Yes. A couple years later in 2008 with even more of the modern Iron Man. So get excited. But... we are opening up with Armor Wars. Marshall, tell us about what happens in the lead up to Armor Wars, if you would, please.
Yeah, so from the last book up until now, not a lot really happens because there's not that big of a time gap here. The main thing is that Tony creates Stark Enterprises in California and joins the West Coast Avengers. So this is where we get, like in this book, you see Tony's house and it looks a lot like the one from the movies in Malibu.
Yeah. Which is fun.
I figured that was like a creation for the movies.
Yeah,
it's
same.
very much from this.
Yeah.
Even with like the same like large overhang and everything and the glass and all that stuff like that. You know, glass. It's one of the things that he likes to put in his house.
Shocking.
It's pretty good.
I want that house so bad.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing that kind of happens between these two books because there's not a lot going on. If you don't know what the heck we're talking about, go back again, like Michael said, and watch that last one. Watch it on 2x speed. Watch it on 2x speed a second time. I don't know how the watch hours are counted at that point. Give us more watch hours. I always want more.
Oh, Marshall's still greedy.
I'm greedy.
He just wants more out of you.
I like reading analytics.
You dweeb. Okay.
What's our demographic numbers?
Jeepers.
I haven't actually checked that in a while. I would be interested to see what that is.
I don't think I've checked it ever.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Iron Man numbers 2025. What? 225. Hold on. Let me just find this for real.
Yeah, find it for real.
Iron Man is my friend. I know him. I met him personally. Okay. We're talking about Armor Wars. This is Iron Man 225 to 232. This ran from 87 to 88. The main thing here is it really gets into, kind of like we were talking about before, Tony's great desire for control, and in this case of like his legacy and the way that his technology is used.
Yeah.
It was written by David Michelin is back here. Michelini maybe is how you say that? I can't remember.
I think so, yeah.
Sorry. Penciled by Mark Bright, inked by Bob Layton, colored by Bob Sharon, lettered by Janice Chang.
I knew it wasn't Michelin. That I knew.
Michelini.
I think it is Michelini.
Whoopsie. Sorry. So essentially what happens here is Tony discovers that the secret to his armors and the way they work and everything has been stolen and sold to the highest bidder. And he goes on a warpath to get all the armor back. He's not really doing this very conscientiously. He's just kind of going at it. Yeah. He's being real reckless. He's making people upset. And it's a certain, like, you know, the Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D. and the government are all like, maybe you should stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'll do that. And then he goes and keeps,
I'll do it
beating
when
people
I'm
up.
dead. Yeah.
And the big problem happens when he goes and beats up a guy who has not been using his armor secrets. He just has technological armor.
Yeah.
And that's when Hawkeye, who's the leader of the Avengers at this point, has to be like, hey, stop it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to stop. This is terrible. And then Tony refuses again, and then he accidentally kills Titanium Man.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, the Titanium Man.
Yes, please.
So they kick him out of the Avengers.
Yeah.
You're out of the group, pal.
Which is okay in a circumstance like this, I think, where it's just like, hey, have you actually become psycho?
Yeah, we've taken a vote. You're a criminal.
Yeah, that just might be in breach of your contract, Iron Man.
When Hawkeye is telling you you've gone too far and you're acting like a criminal, you've made a mistake.
Hawkeye got his day when they were doing West Coast Avengers stuff. We talked about this with Wonder Man too. Hawkeye just really came into his own for a little bit. So good for him. He deserves it. He's a good character.
Hawkeye fired Iron Man.
Yeah. Can that be that needs to be the title of this part too.
The time that Hawkeye fired Iron Man.
with red circles and arrows and everything.
And then it's just an AI voice. Maybe you remember Iron Man. Hawkeye fired Iron Man.
That's a really good AI impression.
You remember it? You know that voice I'm doing?
Yeah, I know it.
It's pretty good.
This is confirmed Marshall is AI.
I am AI. Tony goes against his final foe, Firepower, which is basically a government-funded ironmonger with loads of missiles strapped to him.
What do you think of the name?
I mean, it's, it feels a little unbecoming of this era of comics. It feels like that's something from like 15 years previous.
Yes, I completely agree.
And he is literally just a large Iron Man with a bunch of missiles taped onto him.
We could maybe do better. Give him a better one right now. I bet you can come up with a better one. Boomstick.
Blasty, blaster, metal blast, metal blaster.
Master Blaster.
Missile blaster. I think I have an idea.
The Intercontinental Man.
What if we call him Firepower? How about that?
Okay.
Honestly, it's not that bad of a name.
You kind of might be onto something there.
I think it's pretty good. I changed my mind. I've really gone the other direction on this.
A full 180 here.
It's pretty good. So Tony is blasted out of the air by this character, Firepower. And when I say blasted out of the air, I mean he explodes.
He really got him.
It's pretty good. Everyone believes that he's dead.
Yeah.
But all they did was blow up the armor that apparently Tony had filled with blood.
Yes.
He had filled with quarts of his own blood.
Yeah.
And that was enough. The fact that there was no body did not concern these people. They saw loads of blood blast out of this remote controlled armor and thought, Tony was in there. Whoever the pilot of the Iron Man was in there.
He got liquefied.
It's crazy. So he just lets people believe he's dead.
Which, can I just say, there's a line in one of the more modern ones where a villain that Tony's fighting says, they're going to have to pour you out of that armor. Yeah. And I went, was that a callback to when they exploded when him? He just filled the suit with juice?
With blood? Maybe.
It's kind of funny.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just lets people believe that he's dead for a while there. Here's a fun thing that someone says in this. As head of public relations, Mr. Stark, might I suggest a new corporate spokesperson? Someone a bit less controversial than Iron Man. Why don't I contact Bill Cosby's agent?
Oh boy.
Amazing.
That's a really good relic of its time. Yeah, I like that.
It's very good. So Tony kind of plays dead for a while here, or at least the Iron Man plays dead for a while here. And then the man behind Firepower, we find out, is actually a disgruntled guy from earlier in the series who now wants to destroy Stark Enterprises. All of this comes to a head. Tony creates the neoclassic armor. It's one of my favorites. I've actually drawn it. You can buy that. And he makes that armor and he goes and fights Firepower and he beats him.
Yeah.
And that's the story.
It's an amazing look.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think of this story?
One thing I'll start with what I don't like.
Okay.
Because I like most of it. One thing I don't like that it's just a bunch of dudes who have stolen the Iron Man thing.
Yeah. I think that Justin Hammer, is he behind this? I can't remember.
It's something like
somebody specific.
I think it is
stole the secret of the Iron Man and sold it to these people.
Yeah, which we've done plenty of.
Yeah.
I really do think that. They go on to do plenty more of it. They probably do it better elsewhere, just in general, with just a more interesting plot that goes around that conflict of people having the Stark technology.
Yeah.
I think this was a low point for me personally, as far as these arcs that we're talking about here. This was probably my least favorite.
Even though he has a mullet?
He looks great.
Yeah.
The art is one thing I do not have an issue with.
Yeah.
Because he looks awesome. But yeah, I got bored. I did get bored a little bit as time was going through this. Yeah.
There's a lot of like jumping around in this one of like, now I got to go beat this guy up, and now I got to go beat this guy up, and now I got to go beat this guy up, and whoops, I didn't do it. Oh, these people are mad at me. I'm not going to keep doing it anyway. Oh, everybody's mad at me. I'm going to keep doing it anyway.
Yeah, and I'm so mad that I'm going to go do this thing and kill people.
Yeah.
You've had much better reasons to be this mad before.
It's a little silly.
Yeah.
He does fire Iron Man.
Yeah.
All of the problems and beating up this guy who, he goes and beats up Stingray, who's unrelated to any of this. And his solution for the PR problem is that he will publicly fire Iron Man as his bodyguard.
Kind of genius.
But he is Iron Man.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony.
Yeah. But to be able to have that kind of, it's like the fakest version of accountability. It's like, I'm going to bring the Iron Man suit on stage, fire him, and then he's going to leave, and a new Iron Man will come in, and it'll still be me secretly.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's a little silly.
Yeah. Pretty smart, though. I like it.
Yeah, I like the art. It's really cool.
Yeah.
The hair is a bit much for me.
You're not a fan of the hair?
I mean, just the way that the artist shades hair is a little abrasive to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about it. Like, it's just too many lines, I guess. It's like all these little segments of shading, and there's so many of them, and it just doesn't make sense. Hair doesn't shine like that.
It's very distracting compared to the rest of each panel, because it looks like the artist spent 20 minutes on that and 5 minutes on the rest.
Like for Tony's hair, which is probably supposed to be like very curly here, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But for the lady in the panel right above, why would it be like that?
Yeah, hair doesn't look that way.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Also, this lady, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
It bothers me.
Also, it's blue, and I understand that back then blue meant black. Maybe just make it black. I don't know.
Maybe, silly guy.
Or black with a little bit of blue. I don't know. You can do it better than that.
Yeah.
Even in that time, but
there are some.
You're gonna talk about hair that I don't like. Wait till we get to the 2006 series. That's fine.
It's just hair.
We'll get there.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton to say about Armor Wars. It's not amazing. It's not terrible. Yeah. It does feel, this is the thing, is that we have chosen these 6 books pretty intentionally because they do all kind of work together and wrap up as one large story.
Yeah.
This one on its own is kind of meh.
Yeah.
It's an important story because it's the first time stuff like this has happened, but it's not that impressive.
Totally.
Necessarily.
Yeah, I agree.
The Michelini stuff has not been my favorite.
Yeah. It definitely, again, it inspires other things.
Yeah.
But by itself, I don't think it's as much as it. I don't think it's to the quality that it could be.
Yeah, and you do get a lot more of the Silver Centurion, and people love that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Of course.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay, let's keep moving because we have very little time.
Sure.
So, up next we have Extremis in 2005. Would you like to know what happened in the Iron Man world from 1988 to 2005?
Yes, please tell me.
Okay. Iron Man dies in Armor Wars.
R.I.P.
We see this.
I thought he got fired.
His blood and everything and stuff like that.
He got juiced.
Tony just tells people it's a different guy in the suit.
Yeah.
It's great. It's just another guy.
And that guy gets fired. That guy had the job for like a week.
It's true. Pretty good. Tony creates the War Machine armor, fakes his own death, and then Rhodey takes the War Machine armor and becomes War Machine, finds out that Tony faked his death, and they have a falling out. Tony is secretly a sleeper agent for Immortus, and through time travel nonsense, a teenage Tony becomes the main Iron Man for a while when main Tony dies. After the Onslaught event, the Avengers are in a pocket dimension, and their origins are brought up to date before actually returning to the main Marvel universe about a year later in real world time.
Good.
Things are getting nuts in the 90s.
Yeah.
Speaking of nuts in the 90s, Tony's armor is infected by a Y2K virus.
Oh, great.
Yep.
That's good news.
And becomes sentient. And falls in love with him.
With him.
And then tries to kill him.
Oh, an armor scorned, hell hath no fury like.
You know it. So, of course, what I would do if that happened to me is I would do what Tony did and become the Secretary of Defense for the United States of America.
I'd vote for you, Marshall.
What in the world? Tony then loses his position as Secretary of Defense because something Stark Tech has a problem, whatever, who knows. And then he's in kind of a pretty low place, which sets the stage for Extremis.
Yeah. Good.
What
good
a
recap.
what a whirlwind.
Really is.
Tony dies multiple times in that period.
It feels like they were trying to kill him, but then they couldn't commit.
He's tried to kill himself with that drink so many times.
So real.
It's pretty good. Okay, Extremis. This is, where's my notes? Written by, frick. My phone keeps updating.
I can help. Warren Ellis.
Who told you that?
Oh,
yeah. Creative team written by Warren Ellis. Art in general by Adi Granov and lettered by Randy Gentile. I don't know.
Yeah.
So this book is the foundation for like the modern version of the character in a lot of ways.
Very much so.
Heavily inspired the MCU, especially where visuals are concerned. Adi Granov's designs are very close to what we ended up seeing on screen.
Yeah.
The comic here is a bit more mecha inspired than what we finally got in Iron Man 2008, but so much of it down to like the classic Iron Man pose and all that different stuff is an Adi Granov creation.
Yes.
I believe that he was even involved in doing a lot of the concept work for that first movie. Like I think he might have designed that
he
suit.
did the design work on the like in the MCU, which is very cool, and he deserves that.
Yeah. But you hate him.
No, some things I like about these books.
Yes.
One, at one point, Warren Ellis puts in a little blurb, like explaining what he's referencing at some point.
Yeah.
And he credits himself in that quote as Worryin' Warren.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
It's a classic Marvel thing.
It's so good. I want to have that for when we create our book. I don't know what it's going to be yet.
Well, I've already got one.
Okay, give me it.
Yeah, me and Anthony both have our little like classic Marvel monikers.
I thought you meant you have one for me, Michael. Okay,
I haven't thought of one for you, but me and Big Tony, we both have figured out what our classic Marvel monikers would be.
Okay.
So you have Stan the Man Lee, Big Sal Buscema, all that different stuff, or Big John Buscema, whatever. I am Marshall the Maniac Parrish. Tony is Tony the Anatomical Freak.
Great.
Because he draws anatomy really well.
That's great.
It was really good.
I need to talk to Tony about this. Will he be there tomorrow for Free Comic Book Day?
Anthony, who lives in Toledo?
I thought Anthony lived here.
Nope.
Ridiculous.
Met him on the internet.
Wow. Cute.
And he won't watch this because he doesn't use YouTube because he's a conscientious objector because of AI or something.
Interesting. All right. What a guy.
He's drawn a lot of lines in the sand.
It sounds like it.
I respect it.
Good.
So tell me why you hate.
Other things I like.
Yeah, tell me what you like.
I will. I'll continue with it. What I like is the way that. Give me the author.
Warren Ellis?
Nope. Sorry.
Adi
artist.
Granov.
Granov is how you say his last name.
Probably.
Adi Granov. The way he does the armor.
Yeah.
Looks so good. It's
really cool.
The full paint thing.
Yeah.
Incredible and extraordinary.
Having the more heavily rendered look in this modern era works really well.
Yeah.
I tried to read a little bit. I started to read a little bit of the arc that happens after this, and it goes to more of a traditional style. It just didn't work for me. Immediately, I was turned off by it.
Totally.
Because it's like, it's something about the way the modern armor looks and the way that it's so much more technical and everything. It feels weird to not draw it in either a very classic looking style or a more up-to-date thing like the way that Granov does here and LaRocca does as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, makes it look great. I also like how, near the beginning of this, Stark is in a kind of a bad place with weapons manufacturing and stuff like that.
With himself.
Yes. Yeah, truly. Well, and the company's trying to get him back to, they're like, weapons make money, so we want to make money. But then they also manufacture a cell phone that is like this. It's a user-friendly sat phone that
BlackBerry Ultra.
Yeah, and by their own admission, it can download an MP3 in 30 seconds.
Yes.
And then Tony says, "We've made the best cell phone in the world. We don't need to make weapons."
Yes.
It held up so poorly all these years later.
It's very good.
So good.
I loved that.
An MP3 in 30 seconds kills me. Thus concludes the things I really love. No, not necessarily.
What?
There are a lot of things I do like.
Do you like the story?
I do like the story.
Okay.
The art, I'll get to. Okay, the art thing.
Yeah.
The Iron Man armor looks great.
Yeah.
Everything else I think looks. I just don't like looking at it.
Interesting.
I'm not even saying that it's artistically poor quality.
Yeah.
Because I think that's just plain old untrue.
Objectively not.
It looks
I
can think of panels with like really detailed hands, like with the like crease of each knuckle.
Yeah, you see veins or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, no, exactly. I don't like looking at faces. I don't like looking at teeth. I don't like looking at hair. There's just so many things in the human form, in the way that Granov draws these things, where I'm like, I just don't find this to be attractive isn't really the right word. I just don't. Yeah. It's just not the kind of thing that I enjoy. It's more personal preference than anything else.
Interesting.
But if that's, I'd be interested to hear if anybody else who's looked through this or read it has that same qualm where it's like, it's what it is kind of an uncanny valley sort of thing for me. Like, yeah, maybe where it's like, this is meant to be painted like photorealism, but for whatever reason, I love it when Alex Ross does it. You know that I love a painted thing because Ross does this a million times over. Just the way it's done here, I don't know. I have a hard time with it.
Interesting, because I don't think that Granov is going for photo real. Like it's still.
I'm calling it that, not him necessarily, but
yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't feel that as much. I think for me, Granov's art is like incredible, and gorgeous and like grotesque when it needs to be.
Yeah,
but I think it's for me, it's more his work doesn't flow as a comic. Mm-hmm. Like the sequentials, it's not as like immediately engaging possibly as some other stuff could be. Like I'm not a huge fan of Salvador LaRocca, but his panel work and everything is still much more like dynamic and flows more interestingly to me. Yeah. So I don't know. I think sometimes the way that the page flows feels a little stiff, and that is more off-putting to me than sometimes slightly goofy faces or whatever. I think LaRocca is much weirder with faces than Adi Granov is by a long shot.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's similar, but I do have an easier time looking at LaRocca's stuff.
Yeah.
I think just because to me, it just looks more human. Like it
Interesting.
Doesn't.
Well, that's because he's doing this weird tracing thing that he continues to do when he does the Star Wars books.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
There's that, but then he does hair a whole lot better. Tell me, show me one good head of hair in Adi Granov's art. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like Stark's, I think Stark's hair looks really rough, for example, and his like facial structure. He's kind of like doughy is the best word I've got.
Great hair.
You have found the one. He looks so good. Look at his demon face in that bottom panel. Though. Scary.
I love how like sassy Jensen is. He's like this.
It's cute.
Well, good luck. Good luck, you guy. See if you're going to die now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my thing. It's literally my only thing. I love the story. And again, they make the armor look awesome. They show, you can see where the films draw so much from just the look of all of this, whether that's like Tony flying at supersonic speeds, or the kind of the heads up display within the armor. Like it'll the later issues in this will give you some little flashes of like what the armor is communicating to Tony in the suit, that sort of thing. Again, so something we talked about previously. still got the, I was blown away by this. He's still got the
secret identity
in place. So funny. I just like
it feels goofy in the modern context.
Yeah.
Like he kind of comments on some of that sometimes, like when the first panel of him opening the door in the garage and seeing the big Iron Man costume and being like, it's crazy that this used to fit into a suitcase. Mm-hmm. And then he, or briefcase, whatever. And then he gets it back down to that later. But it's a fun little moment.
Absolutely it is. I love it.
We got to move fast. I'm trying to get home by 9. Let's go through these notes really quick. So the story of this basically is that Maya Hansen, and this is somewhat adapted in Iron Man 3, sort of.
Yeah.
Maya Hansen is a bio something scientist, and she and her boss, Aldrich Killian, have created this thing called Extremis, which basically rewrites your body's repair center to believe a different blueprint than the one that it currently has of how to fix your body.
Yeah.
So they tell it that it's actually this other thing. This is where it is according to the comic. That's why I'm doing that.
Yeah.
They tell it that it's this other thing. It turns you into a human scab, basically, and then rewrites your body until you've got, Iron Man powers in your body, essentially. You can breathe fire, all this different stuff, whatever.
Yeah. Famous Iron Man power
breathing fire. But essentially turns like this guy into a biological Iron Man. Yeah. And he's, in a very classic Warren Ellis way, just a domestic terrorist, which is very of this era and everything. So this guy steals this thing, the Extremis formula, takes it, survives it, and then starts going on a rampage of, loving the Klan and killing people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Tony fights this guy.
Not in that order necessarily.
Yeah, simultaneously.
It's true.
Tony he goes and fights this guy on the highway. It goes very poorly. Maya, discovers, oh, wow, Tony's Iron Man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Takes the armor off of him. His body is all crippled up and like completely messed up.
Yeah.
He makes some funny little quips like, oh, thank God for painkillers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because his hand is mangled.
Way. Yeah, it's bad.
And he basically gets her to give him the Extremis. And while she's out of the room, he rewrites it. So now it essentially, instead of turning his body into a super soldier thing, he rewrites his body to essentially become an interface for the Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
So it just directly connects to him. And suddenly he's, moving really quickly. You mentioned these things where you see the heads up display sometimes. Like throughout the book early on, you'll see like he's doing this thing and it'll show you this is what the power is that he's using or whatever. Yeah. That goes away. Like, and it's a really clever storytelling technique of like, here's this break in the story where you have to read this. And now you get this close up of his eye. And now it's here. Yeah. The heads up display is gone. Yeah. He is the heads up display.
Totally.
He is the suit
himself. Yeah.
So now all of these things, instead of having these momentary breakdowns, are just like as fast as the speed of thought. So Tony goes and fights this guy again. He's a big mess, this guy is, and Tony just basically rips him to shreds.
Tony's having the easiest time with this. Like he's much faster than him, much stronger. Yeah. And he even says, I'm trying so hard not to kill you.
I know. And it's really the level of, it's interesting. Yeah. Like he just repeatedly is like, don't make me do this, man. Yeah. Like I do not, like you are out of your league. Like you beat me before and kudos, you did that. Great. You are out of your league now. Yeah. Like I mentioned earlier feeling like some of the art was a little stiff. Part of that I think is intentional because earlier on, Tony is slow. He's methodical. He's in this mechanical suit that he has to like, puppet from the inside of it. It's not connected to his brain yet. So, he is a little slow. This guy is fast. He's got a little bit of motion blur to him when he's moving because he's like, he is the machine.
Yeah.
Later, he's got a little bit of motion blur to him, but Tony is like like
the entire panel is motion blur.
Yeah.
To him,
and it's really cool way to show the change that's happened here. It's really, really fun. Yeah. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. Again, that's where I'm like, I don't have an issue with all this art. It's just when it tries to look very close to human.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's very cool. I mean, he tries to not kill this guy a billion times, whatever, and then ultimately has to blast a hole through his chest and then blow up his head.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's just how it's going to happen. Yeah.
And then he finds out, you need 2 keys to get into the extremist area. Killian couldn't have done this alone.
Yeah.
So Maya released it in hopes to get, funding to do the whole thing as like, this is proof of concept. This hillbilly just murdered a bunch of people in the Matrix bank hallway.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Totally.
But now you can give me your money and I can do the good stuff that
Yeah.
I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So she creates the supply and demand like every villain loves to do.
Just make your own little false flag event.
Yep.
It's great.
That's right.
So what do I mean, we've been talking about what we think of this book.
I think that if you want to really quick lead up to what I think is the most, I feel like I got giddy reading through the upgrades that the Iron Man armor gets throughout this, to the end of it being like, I feel like I'm watching Iron Man 1 for the first time again.
Yeah.
Reading back through this. Like
it's very clearly like the direct inspiration.
Very much so. And it feels like the suit is so cool.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing you've ever seen on a comic book page.
Especially the new version of it.
Yes. Yeah, totally. And so this is one I definitely recommend reading for anybody. Like anybody who likes the character already, or even anybody who wants a fresh view of it. It's like it's all in there.
And there's a lot more like the psychological stuff as well of like Tony's conflict of interest. You do get like a whole issue where he's like going through the extremist process and it like throws him back into his origin story, and Ellis does a really good job of bringing a pretty racially insensitive story, his original origin, which originally took place in Vietnam and stuff like that, bringing that up to date. So Yinsen is no longer a like Fu Manchu looking mystical science man or something.
Yeah, he's a kindly old guy.
He's just a very like snarky old guy who was not in any way interested in like Tony's conference at the tech thing or whatever. It's like he doesn't care about what Tony was doing because he's not interested in weapons. Yeah. But he does have this tech that helps him save his heart.
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborn. First, we attack his heart.
And everything like that.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I really like the line at the beginning when he's doing this interview for a documentary. And this guy immediately is very like hostile to the witness, essentially, of like, well, you did this and this and this, and what do you say about that? And the weapons and so on and so forth. And he's right. Yeah. And Tony kind of like pushes back on that in his way of like, well, the Iron Man has been really good for the world and all this different stuff. Mm-hmm. And this is maybe my favorite line of this entire thing, which really hits at the heart.
The heart, Osborn. First, we attack his heart.
Of why Tony is the way he is and does what he does. This documentarian asks him, do you think they have your pain-killing drug pumps in Iraq? Do you think an Afghan kid with his arms blown off by a landmine is remotely impressed by an Iron Man suit? It's like, ooh.
Rough.
Real, but also so real.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't have Iron Man suits and stuff, but it's just like the realities of like war and Tony using the excuse of like, well, I did do that stuff, but I used that to fund good stuff. Mm-hmm. That then comes back to haunt him very directly because that's essentially Maya's motivation of like, I'm getting military money, I'm getting blood money, and I'm basically killing people by proxy by doing this. Yeah. But I'm going to do medical technology with it if they let me. Yeah. It's like
totally. Ugh. And you kind of get the fruits of that even later on in the Invincible Iron Man series, where Pepper Potts needs that technology to save her life, and even she feels gross about it. She's like, "There's
I don't want to be a weapon.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood money in what's like now filling my body and keeping me alive. Yeah, this is built on the backs of people dying all over the world. Yeah, yeah,
very good stuff."
Very, very good stuff. Go read it. Ryan's going to comment and tell me I'm a hater of this art of this artist, and I'll pin it if he does.
It's true,
but I get it. I get it.
All right. Up next, The Five Nightmares, Invincible Iron Man 1-7 from 2008, written by Matt Fraction, drawn by Salvador LaRocca. In between these two books, Civil War happens. So the fight for registration. What's his name? Accidentally causes a supervillain to explode a school full of 300 children, and that causes the government to be like, hey, superheroes need to register or you're criminals.
Yeah.
So Tony is a hardliner on the registration side of things, which makes sense because of this desire for control and all this different stuff. Steve, Captain America, is on the other side. Big fight happens, whatever, and ultimately Steve is assassinated as he is going to his court date.
Yeah.
Leaving Tony a extremely guilty mess, as well as the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., with his identity finally now public and his PR through the ground. Like, really, people hate him.
Yeah.
They see him as a war criminal, as like the guy who, basically got Captain America killed, all this different stuff. He really goes on a villain arc for the sake of, world security.
Yeah.
He does not learn the right lesson from
Correct.
extremists.
And to be very clear, the Civil War storyline is 100% an essential Iron Man story.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah, it's big enough to have its own episode, so we're not going to cover it here in more detail than that. But it is really, really good and really heavy on who Iron Man becomes in his comics as time goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Hulk returns to Earth after being sent into space by the Illuminati. He goes on a warpath. This is the World War Hulk event. Beats up Tony and forces him to admit who the Illuminati are and what they did. I don't think this is the first time we see the Hulkbuster armor, but it is a notable fight.
Very much.
Then the Secret Invasion, leaves all when the Skrulls have slowly been incepting themselves into, polite society, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
This leaves all Stark tech broken, and the world blames Tony for leaving them open to Skrull invasion. So basically, everything is going really poorly for Tony Stark. He's continually making terrible decisions. Nothing's going right for him, and that leads us to the Five Nightmares.
The secret invasion happens. He's like, oh, they're going to make a TV show about this, and nobody's going to like it.
Oh man, I won't even be involved in it. It'll have nothing to do with anything. Spider-Woman won't be in it. There won't be a duplicate team of Avengers. Hawkeye won't wonder if his wife, Bobby, is back to life or if she's a Skrull when they're fighting on the freaking Savage Land or whatever.
The graphics were terrible.
The graphics are terrible.
It's got the girl from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. It's a weird show, weird comic, overrated comic.
AI intro.
Terrible show.
Yeah.
Great.
The Five Nightmares, though, good comic book
Really
arc.
good.
Really good.
So, the status quo as we enter the Five Nightmares. Tony is still the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., but he is at his most vulnerable. His company, Stark Industries, is struggling. His reputation is in tatters, and he's being hunted by the government he tried to serve. Well, being hunted by them. Not really being hunted by them. I don't know why I wrote that. But the government also doesn't like him. Nobody likes him.
Yeah.
Enter Ezekiel Stane, the son of Obadiah Stane. He's basically a completely insane sociopath.
He's Mark Zuckerberg.
He's basically, it's kind of the Batman versus Superman Lex Luthor thing if it was good.
Yes.
Like they did it in a way that makes sense. He's this like, young, I guess he's probably in his early 20s. I don't know.
Yeah,
19 or 20 maybe.
Kind of millennial tech genius sort of a vibe with him.
Yeah. And he just is evil, essentially.
Yeah.
Like he's trying to get revenge on Tony.
They speedrun his motivation so quick to just being, he's just evil.
And it works. He's so unsettling and creepy.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of the same like uncomfortable extremist body horror stuff to himself that Tony has, but it's in a much like creepier there's a weird aspect of the extremist story that is that Tony is kind of experimenting on himself. Which is part of that weird cold Sherlock Holmes thing that I was mentioning earlier. Yeah. But if Tony is Sherlock, then Moriarty is Zeke Stane, because he is just scary. Like he's doing the same experimentation on his own body, but in a really creepy, uncaring way.
With none of the safeguards, none of the care for how this goes.
No.
And all of the ego of trying to like make himself into a god, to the point where he's recruiting these people of like a zillion different ideologies, and convincing them that he's gonna be what feeds into the fulfillment of everything they believe.
Yeah, he's like, are you a terrorist? Yeah. I'll turn your people into human bombs.
Yes, yeah.
And that's essentially what happens.
Yeah.
Like he makes people into human Stark tech bombs, and then Tony has to go and stop him from, they meet at a cocktail party and he does a big creepy smile, and then Tony's trying to track him down and finds out that he's basically probably going to go and try to blow up the main hubs of Stark, whatever it is, Enterprises International at this point. So they're trying to stop all of that at different places, and it kind of I don't know.
It goes not great.
It doesn't go great.
Yeah.
People die.
Yeah, people do die. Ultimately successful in tracking the kid down.
Yeah.
And captures him without killing him. It also, he kind of calls back he calls back to the Ironmonger story, of course.
Yeah.
Because that's Ezekiel's dad.
Yeah.
That was going toe to toe with Iron Man back then. Finally, this is where Iron Man also reveals to Ezekiel, like, I didn't kill your dad. He killed himself.
He killed himself, yeah.
The classic Spider-Man and Harry Osborn.
He was killed by his own glider.
He was killed by his own trailer.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
It is good stuff. Classic behind the scenes footage.
Yeah.
Bloopers.
And so there's that moment of Tony gets his time at the end of this to say, I'm really not who you think I am. Like, I am out here trying to do the right thing, even if the world doesn't understand what that looks like.
Yeah.
Which, like, in some ways that is kind of his own ego.
There's a yes and no to that.
Yes.
Because like he is, but there's this continual arc that we see. And if we were going to go further, we could go all the way through Secret Wars, where you get the superior Iron Man and all this different stuff, and the building of a bigger Avengers team, and the Illuminati returning and doing all this stuff with the incursions and, killing entire planets and stuff. Like, there's so much stuff there of like, the safest hands are my own.
Yeah.
And I need to be the one with my finger on the button. Yeah. And he really believes that he's the only one who can do this. And like, it's a tough thing. And this is what I talked about. I don't think I said it on the show, but I think a lot of people see Reed Richards as this very like cold, like, I'm experimenting and I don't care if things go wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
If you read the comics, Reed is still the family man. He's still a good guy. He still like comes back at the end. Tony does not. Like, Tony is a kind of I feel like he is that kind of cold, uncaring type of guy that we think that Reed is until you actually read the comics.
I think they both are. I think they just do it differently.
Like, I think Reed's better though. He's a better man, I think, than Tony.
But I don't know. That's really hard to say.
Tony can never commit to anything greater than himself.
But he's also the G-man. You know what I mean? Especially right now. Like, he is all big government. He is all like, I need all the people behind me. Like, I need public opinion to go my way.
Yeah.
I need the funding. Like, Reed Richards doesn't need to be like Reed Richards is super rich, but being rich isn't part of what he needs to be a genius and to have the influence that he has. He just needs the weird science side of things.
Yeah.
So I think they're both kind of that way, but the way that Tony does it is, it's very pragmatic at the cost of all else. You know what I mean? It's everything is disposable to him as long as it goes to further his mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is cool. It's cool. I mean, it's not
tough.
It's not good.
It creates
morally
an interesting
not great, but it is cool.
character.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean, it's tough reading some of these earlier books because he does feel a little bit just kind of one note. Yeah. But when you get to this story, all of that stuff comes back. Yeah. Of the addiction and the desire for control, the armor getting out, like all of these 5 nightmares are the terrible things that have happened before with the armor wars and with Obadiah and his company getting taken over, all that different stuff. And it all comes back to haunt him in this. Yeah. So it like all of this rounded out in a way that was kind of took me by surprise. Because I was just looking for good, more recent books and then found this one, not realizing that it was so interconnected ultimately with all the other stuff that we're talking about here. Yeah.
I mean, that's Matt Fraction. Matt Fraction is going to write a story that brings in the greatest hits of a character's past. Yeah. And so it's he's very much in his element here doing that. And I like it a lot. Yeah. He did that. I mean, did that with Iron Fist, did that with Hawkeye. Yeah. With all of it. Yeah.
Batman a little bit now. He's doing some interesting stuff with Batman currently.
Yes. Yeah.
It's cool stuff.
It's very
Joker's in a tube. We love when a guy's in a big tube full of juice.
Luke Skywalker.
Like Luke Skywalker, like Darth Maul on the last episode.
Yeah.
He got put in a tube full of juice.
Like Boba Fett in his big old underpants.
There's a lot of shots. I don't remember which one, but there's a lot of shots of Tony putting on the trunks, and he's just like basically naked, except that he has like Iron Man trunks.
Yeah,
it's great.
He did in the 06 series.
Yeah,
he did at one point. When he had his suit delivered to him by private jet or whatever. Yeah. He's like
his car.
His car, you're right. Yeah. When he had his car delivered, he was like, "And now for my next trick, I gotta change into my suit without any of these,
walking
these
in
guys
on the naked Iron Man.
Yeah,
get out of
Iron
here.
Man's naked butt.
It's very good. Can't I see it, please?
Oh,
can I see it? Remember that time that? Oh wow,
there you go. There's that.
Remember that time they made a Batman comic book and his full wiener was out there and they had to recall it, and you can still buy that.
Yeah,
pretty great.
How much does one of those go for? Do you suppose nowadays?
Not as
an
much
original
as you
printing
think.
of that,
like $40. Not bad.
That's a good amount.
I don't know.
Get yourself one of those, Marsh.
This has been the Comic Book Show. Do you have anything else important to say here?
The only other important thing I have to say is thank you for watching. We love having you guys here.
Oh wait, Salvador Larroca. I need to quickly talk about Salvador Larroca's art. And then we got to get the heck out of here. Salvador Larroca bothers me. His lines are not bad necessarily. He's done good work in X-Men, especially in the past, and then his Star Wars work most recently is just. It's weird. The perspective is strange sometimes. Like the angles on the people don't quite match up. It just bothers me. It's strange, and the way that he colors stuff drives me crazy.
Yeah.
It's so weirdly overly rendered and shiny on faces and skin and everything, and it is weird. It doesn't make sense. You can tell very clearly when he is like tracing over some reference material because a face will all of a sudden be very, very detailed.
Yeah.
Not necessarily more realistic because he's still coloring it in the weird way he colors it. But it drives me crazy. It's not as bad as in the Star Wars books where you can literally pinpoint the scene that he's tracing from the movies. And it's like all the art looks totally fine and normal. And then it's like you've pasted on Luke Skywalker's head. It drives me crazy. He does it a little bit in this, but when it's just the Iron Man suit, that kind of shiny coloring and stuff works.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's how I feel about the last
so
one,
hot
too.
and cold.
Yeah, totally. I think when it gets to that like ultra detailed weirdness that doesn't seem to fit the visuals of the rest of it, I feel like that's when it's moving in the direction. Because I noticed those parts that you're talking about. I feel like that's moving in the direction of the just Iron Man series.
But I don't think Granoff is doing that. Like he's not doing this weird like I'm pasting my reference on page thing.
No, 100%.
You know?
Even though Tony Stark looks just like Tom Cruise, like most.
I forgot
of the
to
time.
mention that he is very clearly basing him on Tom Cruise, which I love. And then
so
LaRocca
clear.
is maybe going back to more of a Burt Reynolds,
Yeah, maybe.
which is kind of fun.
Maria Hill calls him Magnum at one point as well. So that's very
there's
funny.
a little bit of that.
That's really good.
I can see that.
He and Maria Hill get into a little spat a couple of times.
Yeah, I thought they hated each other, but then they seem to be friends in this book, at least. I
think it's kind of a frenemy sort of a thing. Like they don't really love
what the heck
being coworkers, but it's
what the heck, man.
But they're there for the same goal ultimately.
Yeah,
he tells her that her appointment at Supercuts is ready. That's a really good dig.
Pretty good.
I like that a lot
Because of the hair. Because of the hair, guys.
Back when I had hair, I went to Supercuts, and so I felt like it was a dig against me.
Where'd the hair go?
It's gone. Bald.
That's okay.
Bald.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Now I shall say thank you for watching. Appreciate you guys. Be sure to check out last week's episodes for more of the old Iron Man stuff, more formative moments for the character. Everybody loves Iron Man. He's a dependably really fun character to read about, to watch.
I agree.
If you like these, go check out the cartoons that Marshall and I both grew up watching. Because those are
the cartoons are not great.
They're
not. It's fun stuff. There's not a great history of Iron Man cartoons the way there is of like Batman and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
It's
Armored Adventures is weird.
Yeah,
but it's fun.
Good theme songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Standing on the edge like That's a different thing, Michael. That's a different thing, Michael.
Spectacular
Iron
Spider-Man. Oh, I see what you did there. I like
Iron
that.
Man.
You're right.
Invincible. Okay.
I like it. Check out our other videos. Look at more of our channel. We recently hit the first tier of monetization on YouTube, which we're super stoked about. Sound more stoked than that.
Yeah.
That's way better. So if you want to consider becoming a member, you can do that. We have a couple of different tiers that get some different perks, and we're going to have more of those rolling out as time goes on, especially as Marshall and I continue to work on our own comic book that we're developing.
Yep.
We might have some more opportunities for early access to that, artist editions,
work in progress
stuff like
pages, stuff like that. Yeah.
All kinds of things that we're cooking up. So, if you want to, please consider becoming a member, but we're not going to try and talk you into it too much.
Yeah.
We just love that you're here.
We would also love to know what would make membership worth it to you. That's something that I posted. I made a little post about that because I really just threw together a few cursory things that I feel like I've seen some other channels do that would maybe be interesting to people I don't know. So let us know like what would be perks that you would be interested in. We're definitely not in a place where we're able to do like early videos or bonus content really. Like we barely have time to make the show that we already make.
Yeah.
But other than that, like let us know like what stuff would be interesting to you. What would you like to see that would make, I think the lowest tier is like $6 or something like that. Yeah. What would be interesting for you for that?
Yeah. If that's feet pics from Marshall, you can request that.
You can request that. It's not going to happen. And you get them. But
That's
otherwise,
I get special privileges.
Because you're a special boy.
Yes. Anyways, next week, I think we're going to be reading Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yep.
This guy right here.
Mandalorian.
A little bit of that. Yes, in preparation for the new Mandalorian and Gromgus movie.
Yep. And then we just have one more manga to read, and then we can make a manga compilation.
Oh, Mangulation.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And we're going to be doing, soon after that at some point, we're going to be ranking all the Iron Man armors.
A lot of them. Big list.
Should we just do that before Lone Wolf and Cub? I'm like, should this be a 3-part thing?
The timing would be wrong for Mando then. That's the only reason that we're doing that then.
Big vibes.
Yeah,
you're right. So keep an eye out for some of those things.
Open your eyes.
If you like our tier lists. What was that?
You said keep your eyes open.
That was insane.
Did you get scared?
I heard a noise over there. I'm like, what are you? I hated that.
It's good. This has been the Comic Book Show. You said your part.
This has been the Comic Book Show. I hope you enjoyed it and keep reading comics.
Good.
You.
Do it again, Michael.
This has been the Comic Book Show. I hope you enjoyed it. Keep reading comics. Love you.
Good luck.